video series. Today we're going to be looking at one of our most popular machines, the R220T counterbore tough. So I'm here with my buddy Grant, and he's going to show us how to swap the drill head for a new one. So first thing we want to do is disconnect the air and power before we open up the machine. And next, unloosen this wing nut on the side here, and that'll allow us to pull the top right off and access the motor drive and the spindles here.
In this demonstration, since the new drill head that we are going to be installing has a different drill distance, we need to exchange the drill bushing block as well. So to make things easy on us, we're going to remove the drill block first, and that way we can leave the collets attached to the spindles in the drill block. Next, we move over to the drill block itself, and there is only these two bolts from the top that are mounting this in place. Once we get those loose, as we remove it, we just got to be careful to release the tension on the belt as we do so. Next, we want to just crack loose the bolts holding on the bushing mounting block, and this will just allow us another position to adjust as we are installing the new one. Now that we have the new one in place, and you can see that the drill collets are already attached to the spindles, we tighten down or thread the bolts, get the belt in place, but don't snug the bolts down until we pull tight against the stop on the mounting block towards the motor. If you need to adjust the tension in the belt, then you can do so from the mounting bolts on the motor side. There, that's better. Next, we're going to slide the new bushing block straight through the spindles and directly over top of the mounting block. Now, we're going to snug these bolts down, but not too tight just yet, because we will be revisiting this. Next, we're tuning the position of this, and the best way is to reconnect the air, but leave the electrical disconnected to not cause any accidental injuries. You can see we're spinning the belt by hand just to keep that rotation moving on the collets as they pass through the bushing block. We then slowly go back and forth and tighten up the bolts holding the bushing block onto the mounting block. We'll then tighten up any remaining threads on the mounting block. And if things seem to slow down or start to stick a little more as we're tightening those down, then we revisit the bushing block itself. You just crack those bolts loose, and this will allow just that little bit of extra freedom, and it will reseat itself as you actuate the drill forward and back. Once we're happy with the performance, we can reconnect the electrical and actuate it in a dry cycle forward and back, just to make sure we're happy with a smooth operation of the machine. Now, to insert the drills, we need to access the holes on the collets for the set screws. The easiest way to do this is to lightly actuate the foot pedal to bring that whole assembly slightly forward, and then set the back stop collar to keep it in this position. For extra clearance, the chip brake plastic piece can be removed for extra clearance. When loading these drills, you want to keep an eye on the fact that there is a flat portion on the drills that need to line up with the set screws. The set screws are tightened into place. And since this machine has already been tuned, we're fairly confident with the final stroke of the drill. But you want to proceed with caution on this next step as you actuate it forward for the first time with the drills in, because you want to be careful not to run into the backstop. In this position, the drill tips should be about 1/8 inch from the backstop. Once we're satisfied with that position, remember to loosen the back stroke stop to allow it to fully retract and lower those drills enough for clearance as we load in our next board. The chip brake can be replaced. Now, if you're changing the drills to one with a new center distance, you should be receiving a new chip brake plate, and during your first drill cycle is when you will be drilling the holes straight through that plate to get a perfect hole distance. Finally, we're going to look at adjusting the hold down clamp. So in this case, we are able to just loosen the guard, which gave us access to the mounting bolts on the hold down cylinder. Now, if you're going to actuate the air cylinder, as Grant does in this video, to set the distance, you need to remember that the drill and the clamp actuate when pressing that foot pedal. So you can either remove the drill bits as a precaution, or disconnect the air from the air cylinder that drives that whole drill assembly. When you're happy with the amount of force coming down in your part, you're ready to give it a test.